Already highly. $22, 92 points. I mean, you're not getting this. Awesome. I'm Matthew Horkey. For the last 7 years, I've traveled around the world tasting thousands of wines annually in search of the most unique, exciting, and expensive bottles on the planet. Riesling to me is maybe the greatest wine grape in the world, red or white. It's certainly for me the greatest white wine grape. For me, it's really sad that white wine videos don't perform as well on the channel because people always have the perception the only serious wine is red wine. However, I find myself drinking more whites these days. And before we get into the blind tasting, I'm going to give you a few reasons that you should drink more dry Riesling. The acidity makes them so refreshing. Think about it, a lot of people like to drink some soda with whatever they're eating because the acidity and soda cuts right through the food, wipes the palate clean. You're getting that with Riesling, except you're not getting all that sugar. Number 2 is the ridiculous, let's call it redonkulous value structure. All these are around $25 and under, some even around $15. In terms of American wine, there's not another variety out there that's going to give you this kind of complexity, this kind of age-worthiness, this kind of enjoyment. What I also like about Riesling is the good ones drink super nice young and then extraordinary as they age. Reason 3 is food friendliness. Riesling can go with chicken all the way up to pork. Okay, maybe not steak. There aren't too many wines out there that do well with spicy or even slightly sweet foods. Think Southeast Asian, especially Thai cooking. Dry Rieslings have a little bit of residual sugar. Let me explain. Riesling is so high in acidity, you need a little bit of sugar to balance it out. In German wine law, for instance, if you have 9 grams per liter of acidity, you can have up to 9 grams per liter of residual sugar. Think about lemon. If you bite a raw lemon, the acidity really spikes, but if you add some water, if you add some sugar, it kind of calms the perception of acidity down. So I'm gonna get right into it. This is the biggest blind tasting on the channel I've ever done. We have 12 wines here. 11 of them are from Washington State, and I threw one German one in there to see if I could pick it out. Tasting out of my Gabriel Glas Standart editions. I love these glasses, universal glasses, some of my favorite in the world. I use them all the time. I have a link in the description below. I had some comments in previous videos saying, can you please clean those glasses? They have blotches on them. Look, I use microfiber cloth. I just don't want to put all these glasses in the dishwasher because I've lost a few that way. First, I was going to try to change it, but you know what? Now I think I'm just going to leave it so more people comment. It drives up engagement in the video. Let's blind taste some Rieslings. Got my trusty little notepad here. With dry Rieslings, I'm really looking for lemony flavors, mineral notes, apple blossom, white flower notes, and Riesling, what really separates the difference is length, intensity, and that beautiful tension. The tension between acidity, fruit, sugar, almost like when you have a fresh squeezed juice versus a store-bought one. The fresh squeezed one, it just has that little extra tension, that little interplay in your mouth that makes it a little bit more special. Over the last year, I've tasted some really impressive Washington State Rieslings. In fact, a few here are collaborations with German producers. I'm gonna try something new. One of the viewers, Keith, suggested instead of saying wine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I just call it by letter. So let's start with wine A. Almost like a Riesling for beginners. It's not too explosive, not too big. It just kind of smells more round and fruity, lemon, white, peachy. Wine A is gonna be the most friendly Riesling. Actually, it's gonna surprise a lot of people. A lot of people have this perception that all Riesling's sweet when most Riesling is actually dry, and dry Riesling can be extremely magical. I think that's a good starter wine. Wine B. Usually expecting dry Rieslings to be super explosive. It smells like Riesling. Still have the lemon, still have the apple blossom, baked apple type notes. Not as minerally as I'd like. Oh, but this has tension. Ooh, I like that. Hold on. Doesn't have the aromatics I'm looking for in Riesling, but the palate is exactly, I mean, it's a confusing wine. I want more on the nose, but the palate is wonderful, whatever wine B is. I do like doing these blind tastings for you, but it takes a heck of a lot of work. A lot of people are asking about it. What I do is I go ahead and I Coravin the bottles, I Coravin them in the plastic cups, and then I have to ask somebody to go ahead and mix the order, bring them out to me. It takes a little bit of an organization because I'm a one-man team, so I always got to be asking for help, asking for favors, but hey, you got to do what you got to do. Wine C is a little more explosive. Has some more kind of lime and guava notes. This to me resembles a little more German Riesling style. Maybe Rheinhessen. Wine C is really good. Really good. Well-made, high-quality, fresh Riesling is going to confuse a lot of people because it's not petrol-y. It has these kind of lime, guava, apple, white peach notes that can run the gamut. The exotic fruit, passion fruit even. Mineral notes. Wine C is awesome. Wine D, more mineral notes. Lime even too. Here's the thing with fresh Rieslings too, they're usually better a day after you open them. You put the cap on, you stick in the fridge. These Rieslings need a little bit of air to breathe and they usually get a little bit better. Wine D started to get better as I drank it more. Some good wine so far. Wine E has a lot of lees contact. When you have lees contact in wine, you get some of those yogurt type notes, because what lees are, they're dead yeast cells that fall to the bottom of the fermentation vessel. They sit there and they add some creaminess, some roundness, some body to the wine and some flavor as well. Oh, the acid, great. Wine F reminds me like a lot like a German style Riesling. It might be the German. It has some of the white flower, it has some lees. It's a little bit ripe pineapple, lime, apple blossom notes. Wow, my mouth is watering. That's good. That last wine, I'm gonna love. People that like acidity are gonna love, but you know, I think a lot of people, the acid might be too much. Ooh. Wine G is good. Whatever wine G is, it has a little, it's dry wine, maybe even moving to off dry, has a little more residual sugar, which I think it means can make it friendlier for a lot of people. Still, it's like excellent wine. Wine H is good, but it pales in comparison to wine G, and that's a problem sometimes when you're comparing wines. You can have a good wine, but if you have a wine that's better, it kind of leaves the other one in the dust. You gotta have context. I used to think being a wine critic was super easy. Oh, you just taste and assign a score. I've only started to really become comfortable with my palate maybe in the last year or so. I'm really 100% secure of my flavor, my judgment. Wine I is the most floral and it's super complex. Really reminds me maybe some perfumed, maybe some examples from the Rheingau. That's the style it reminds me of. Wine I is awesome. Awesome wine. Wine J is also awesome. Also could get these, you know, I have a couple here that could be dead ringers for German Riesling. Dead ringers. Oh, Wine I was all about florality. Wine J is just got that beautiful tension between floral and mineral notes. These are two like awesome. I'm really excited to know what these two wines are. I think I know which one's the German wine. Those wines are awesome. Forgot to mention Washington State is the biggest Riesling producing state in the US. I know New York Rieslings are most famous. Chateau Ste. Michelle is the largest Riesling producer in the world. I really thought that the German wine would just blow everything out, but it's good stuff. This has like everything. The liminess, the floralness, the mineralness, it all comes together here. So some nice wines here. Okay, the last one. Wine K has a little bit more residual sugar. It's a dry, kind of moving into the off-dry style, but still it's a beautiful wine. Okay, wine L. Wine L is a little bit reductive. Smells a little eggshelly. You gotta blow it off a little bit. Okay, a little bit muted. Okay, I'm ready for the reveal. I think I know which one is the German Riesling, and ironically, the one I think was the German Riesling, I thought it would wipe the floor. It did not. So, but we'll see. We'll see. That's what wine tasting is so interesting. Okay, let's start out. There are no losers here. I think all the wines were nice. It's just some were a little bit nicer than others. Let's start out here in the wine that I like the least. Although I think this wine, a lot of people are gonna really enjoy because it's not doesn't have as much acidity. I crave acidity. I want my mouth to water when I drink Riesling. It's so funny. One of the reasons that it took me so long to do this episode is these Riesling bottles are a little bit taller. They go over the bags. I couldn't find any big bags. I was trying to figure out how I'd do this, and I figured out, oh, I can just put one of these cups on. So I figured out. Anyways, wine A. I think this is going to be a crowd pleaser. A lot of people that don't like Riesling or something new, I think this is good to try. I had it around 87 points. Let me take a look here and see what it is. This is the Claar Cellar Riesling White Bluffs from Washington State. $18. So like not a bad way to start your Riesling experience. Pretty inexpensive. That's how it is. Let's move on here. Wine L. I thought this wine was pretty decent, except it was just muted. I wanted a little bit more flavor, and that's why I marked it down a little bit. I have it at 88 points. I like some of the limey flavors in Wine L. It was just a little bit muted for me. Let's take a look here. This is the Tsillan Cellars Estate Riesling from Lake Chelan. This is $24. Like some of the flavors, it just wasn't expressive and showing me as much. My first time tasting both of those Rieslings. Okay, next up, I had this tied, about 88 points. This was Wine H. The aromas were nice, but just didn't have that tension I was looking for. This is the Barnard Griffin, well-known producer, 2020 Columbia Valley Riesling. Here's the kicker though, 88 points, pretty solid, but $13. If I know it was only $13, I probably would have scored a little bit higher. I think it's a great entry point if you want to get into Washington State Rieslings. And wine B, this was a confusing wine because at first the nose is not like I wanted. I wanted it to be more expressive, but then when I put it on the palate, the tension there was absolutely beautiful. This wine was very good. I want to know what the price is. 89 points. This is the Dineen Vineyards Yakima Valley Riesling, 22 bucks. Again, talk about value. 22 bucks to get in on a dry Riesling. The tension right there, I want to have it with mango salad. I'd love to have it with some coconut soup, some tom kha gai. Okay, everything from here on out is 90 points or above. Wine D, lime and mineral notes. I love it. I love it. I just want, for me to take it to the next level, I just wanted a little bit more intensity, but I thought it was really good. 90 points, wine D. Let's take a look here with the screw. Sleight of hand, the magician. Great label, 2021 Evergreen Vineyard Riesling. I've been wanting to try these wines for a long time. They get a lot of press. Glad to show that they did well. Cool label too. Wine E, I think that a lot of people are gonna like this. A Leasy wine, had a lot of those more yogurt notes, but the acidity there was really nice. So you had some creamy-like flavors, but it had some acid, which I like. 90 plus, let's take a look here. Oh, the Sin Banderas 2021 Yakima Berry, only 3 barrels produced. Cultivated by a Mexican, vinified by a Texan, cellared by a Frenchman, distributed by a Washingtonian. 24 bucks, that's very cute. Really nice wine. 3 barrels produced. Wine C, lime, minerals, tension. Love it, love it, love it. I want to see what it is here. This is the Efeste. This is the Evergreen Riesling. So same vineyard as the sleight of hand here. This is 2021, 20 bucks. I don't know where you're gonna get this type of wine for 20 bucks anymore. I mean, moving from here on over, wow, awesome wine, awesome wine. Okay, let's move along here. We have wine K. This is the one I talked about, had like everything. It was balanced with floral, lime notes, mineral notes. Some wines are more floral, some were more mineral. This was just a nice balance of everything. Wow, this is the Eroica 2021. This is the collaboration between Chateau Ste. Michelle, Dr. Ernie Lucen from the Mosel. 22 bucks. I've seen it as low as 17. This is widely available. I would say get your hands on it. I've had an older vintage in the past. Beautiful wine, really nice stuff. Okay, moving on to wine G here. Lime Lees, this is a slightly sweet finish. I thought it was really good. I had it 92 points. Oh my gosh, this is the Poet's Leap, Columbia Valley from the Long Shallows Vintners collection. This is a collaboration with DL. It's a famous winery in the Nahe in Germany, one of my favorite producers in Germany. I've actually been to the estate. 22 bucks, 92 points. I mean, you're not getting this. Awesome. Very, very, very good wine. The final 3 here. And before we get to the final 3, I want to remind you to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't. Click the bell so you know when new videos are coming out, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this format, what you think about Riesling in general. It helps the channel out a little bit, tells the YouTube gods that, hey, this channel's worth searching out. Okay, wine J and F. These were tied. 92 plus points. Minerals, floral, it was really good. 92 plus points, already highly. This is the Chateau Ste. Michelle Dry Riesling, Columbia Valley 2021. This wine is $10. 10 bucks. I just scored it 92 points. I don't know where you can get white wine or wine, you know, wow. That to me is shocking. That's like a basic bottling. Wow. They make a Riesling that's off dry. It says Riesling. Make sure if you want to get it, it's this one. It says dry Riesling. I'm shocked. That's the power of blind tasting. Wine F, I thought this was the German Riesling. To me, it had the acidity of the German Riesling. Citrus, acid, apple blossom. Thought it was German Riesling, and it is. So it did stand out. This is the most expensive wine in the bunch. This is the Von Vinning. This is the Forster Riesling, 2021, 29 bucks. Von Vinning, they ferment all of their Rieslings, except their very cheapest one, in the barrel. I didn't get a lot of oak here. I thought this was outstanding. I love the acidity. The German wine did stick out, but it didn't win. So that means a Washington State wine won. You ready? You ready? You ready? Wine I really want to know what this is. 93 points. I want to see what it is, what the price is. The Goose Ridge Riesling, 2021, 22 bucks. What? I honestly have never heard of this producer before. Never. Guys, let me know what you think about Riesling, what you thought about this results. Drop in the comments below. If you're looking to watch something next, I'll throw something up there you enjoy. Cheers.